Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Urbana Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Commission meeting on Tuesday, August 19th. It is 7 p.m., and we are going to call this meeting to order. Carmen, can we do a roll call?
Yes, Annie Adams.
Present.
Susan Jones. Tommy Griscom. Choshi Wang.
Present.
Bruce Mickelson. Keenan Portis. Sartak Prasad.
Present.
Nancy Westcott. And I'm Carmen Franks.
All right, and we have a forum. Can we have a vote on the approval of minutes of the previous meeting?
Oh, wait, I have a change
Nope.
to the agenda.
Oh, that's not on my agenda. How can I know then? I'm just teasing.
Because it just happened today. Keenan is not going to be here today.
Oh, that's right. Keenan was going to present on the park.
He's
All right.
sick, so we're going to move King Park Master Plan presentation to next meeting.
All right, wonderful. That's something to look forward to. I can't wait to see it. All right, thank you. So we have updated the agenda. The King Park Master Plan presentation will be at our next meeting in September. Cool. All right, so do we have an approval of minutes of the previous meeting?
I vote, or I propose that we approve the minutes.
I will second that motion, that you have so moved.
All right, and if we all in favor, we can say aye? Aye. And those opposed? All right, the minutes of the previous meeting have been approved. All right, do we have any public input now? It's only 5 minutes. Anyone? All right. Just teasing.
Traffic was crazy yesterday.
All right, I would love,
Careful out there, there's a lot of new people who don't know where they're going.
yeah. I mean, seriously, like, just the amount of traffic, as we all know, the population of our city doubles overnight, and it's absolutely incredible. I mean, it really, I mean, you work at the MTD. It's incredible to see how our cities both manage this. It's really a sight to be seen, because not only are we doubling our population, they're also each person is bringing with them 2 to 4 other people. So it's not just a doubling, but yeah, what have you seen?
There are maybe like 35 buses running late today as of 3:30 p.m.
Oh,
And
wow.
Over the summer, it's like not even 5 buses. So yeah, people are actually showing up double over the night, like you said.
Well, that's exciting. And I also, as long as we're on the subject, there is a student at the University of Illinois who created what they called a moving map, and it was the student creates moving maps of cities throughout the world, and the student loves the MTD so much that he created a moving map of the MTD, and you can see it. It's really awesome. Yeah, and it just shows, because what he realized is, the thing that we all talk about here is that it's a system, and so the pedestrians are working with the cyclists, who are working with the scooters, who are working with the cars, who are working with the buses, who are working with the trucks. It is a system, and all of us must work together. And so he showed, yep.
He's okay. We know this guy. Oh. So his Instagram account is called MTD Fan, or you can find him on Reddit, also MTD Fan. He actually created all those animations by himself, all the big cities. Well, I'm very proud to say that Champaign-Urbana is one of those big cities, like New York, Chicago, like all the moving buses and all the moving trains. And cool. He also redesigned, not in the sense of redesign the system, but redesign the design style of our map. How do we present all the lines? So yeah, go check him.
Interesting.
Check him out.
Yeah, I will.
Is there a way we could put a link to that in the minutes, just so that we could see it, those of us who don't know how to find it?
We'll have to look for it. Yeah.
Okay.
I can send through the email though, if you need this link.
Yeah, I can add it to that notes document I shared with all of you and reshare it with updates.
Yeah.
By the way, today I saw a car who thought it was a pedestrian because it crossed the intersection of, what was it? 4th and Gregory, so right by Ackenbury, when the pedestrian lights were on. And I was stopped and I was on a bicycle.
People are overwhelmed. I mean, you got to imagine these parents are dropping their kids off for the first time. Their minds are racing. They're not used to the beautiful infrastructure that we have put in to try to keep everyone safe. So it's just everyone just have a little patience. Yeah.
And be a little defensive whenever you're on the street. You don't know, yeah.
All right, so the public input was provided by PPAC, and we just want to welcome everyone to our great city, and we're really glad you're here, and we're glad that you have returned, and we're also glad that the residents of our city are welcoming you. So unfinished business, the $2,500 budget, bike light purchase and bike month donation. I don't know why it's bugging me, but the door is open to this room, and I'm going to go shut it. I'll be right back.
Okay, so I'll provide an update to
Annie,
this.
the only reason we have the door open is because we don't have the key.
Okay, we'll leave the door open.
I thought because it was like the air conditioning was like, whenever I'm in this room, I'm so cold. So I thought, they're just trying to warm it up. All right, cool. We don't need to shut that door. My is it OCD, I believe is what people call it, can manage this. I can
We're
manage
sorry
it.
for the inconvenience. We should have let you know before this meeting even started.
It's okay. It's totally nonsensical, and I'm accepting of that. All right, so the $2,500 budget, the bike light purchase and bike month donation. So just to catch everybody up, we had a discussion perhaps about trying to look at this budget and see, currently all the money goes to the University of Illinois, and it's great because they manage the budgetary items, they move it through for us, and then the lights go to our residents, because 50% of the City of Urbana residents are students. So and faculty and staff. So that's a really
They
good.
don't ask for ID either.
No, they don't.
If you pull up, you get a light.
You get a light. You have to have your bike, and then the lights get installed on your bike. So that's a good thing. But we did have a discussion about would it be possible to get some of those lights would it be possible to get some of those lights and give them possibly to the police department, or for us to do pop-ups at the farmer's market or other places to try to reach more residents of the city, if I am correct? Am I correct in what the discussion was?
So this is not about going to the police department, but this is for Light the Night, right? And MTD is where the money is going. And we did receive an invoice from them last week for $1,717.50. I assume that BPAC would be supportive of this, but I have not paid it yet, just to make sure we're all on board with that, and then I will pay it through the BPAC account. I'm not sure how we distribute the lights. I just want to update you guys with that amount. The other piece of this, the bike month donation to RPC, we shared with them that we thought we would make a similar donation to last year, and last year's donation was $500 from BPAC. So, we're clearly within our budget to do both of those things.
Is the RPC, what is that? Do you know what that's for?
So that would go for like T-shirts, and I think this year we are supporting SR, like Safe Routes to School, right? So the donations that are collected for Bike Month, that is going towards T-shirts and Safe Routes to School.
Well, I had,
Sorry, like, to answer your other question, how the lights are distributed, it's an open event available to public. So the events mainly focus towards university, but it's open to university students, faculty, staff, as well as residents of City of Urbana, Champaign, Savoy, and anyone who brings their bicycle. You have to bring your bicycle to get a light. Yeah, like we, in the past, like we have had a lot of families come to the station. So kids, like with the parents, they come and we install lights, and it's just a fun event. And then MTD is also doing a demonstration of bike racks on, like, if you're traveling with your bicycle, how do you mount your bicycle on a MTD bus? So that will also be part of this event. So just FYI, there are two events. So one is Bike to Work Day, which where you get the T-shirts, and that will be on September 10th. And the second event is Light the Night, where you get free bike lights, and that will be on September 16th.
Yeah, when I add, I apologize. I should have added this to the meeting agenda as an attachment. I do have a sponsorship letter for the Bike Month and Bike to Work Day that explains what the donation goes to. So I can share that with BPAC afterwards. Or I can pull it up in front of you all right now if you would like, but that might take me a minute or
No.
two to email it to
And
myself.
and Carmen, it's our last year was the first year we found out we even had a budget. So you are now, that's what you've walked into. We didn't even know we had a budget. We all were like, we were like $2,500. I mean, if you watch the video, we were sort of in tears of laughter over it. But, it's obviously goes to some really good stuff, so it's not like they were so serious about it. They're like, you have $2,500, how are you going to spend it? And we were like, we think it's already spent, but if you could let us know. But that does leave $300 is one thing I would like to put on the table, but Nancy?
Yeah, I had said at the last meeting that I would try to find out more about the police department, because I know in the past, and I do believe, at least according to AI Google, they did have a bike giveaway in March of 2025. There may be bicycle cops on a bike, but probably not all the time. But I think, and
They're currently understaffed, so they've
I
had a
know,
hard
but
time with
It
that.
would not be a full-time thing, but they have had that in the past, and they may have two that occasionally ride bikes now. I tried getting a hold of them early, but I called the wrong number, and it took, and then there were vacations, so I only talked to somebody yesterday, really, but they also they go to the parks in the summer, the Wednesday night music events with the park district. They will go to those, so that is a possibility. And the police go to classrooms and talk to kids about bike safety. So I talked to a policewoman, I believe Sergeant Elizabeth Henry, and she and Lieutenant Cunningham were actually fairly excited about the possibility of doing something community-based with BPAC.
Okay.
They actually were really kind of thrilled with the idea of bike lights. And I had because the meeting was today, I wanted to just talk about it here and see what was what, because, but they would be interested in talking to us about possible events or what they would do with it in conjunction with BPAC.
That's exciting. Another idea is a bike playground. So that basically teaches people traffic. You set up cones and you have people run, go through different. It's a bike, you could do a bike rodeo, but you can also set it up as a. Yeah, so that's another thought. If we still have the $300, which Carmen is quickly checking to see if we've already spent the money, so.
Well, we still have the money. I just wanted to pull up the sponsorship letter because the Bike to Work Day is coming up before our next meeting, so I want all of us to sign off before I give that sponsorship. So if you bear with me, keep talking. I'm going to pull up
I mean, I
my
guess the other
Gmail.
question is do you have enough, is there ever the possibility of additional lights from that $1,700 that, that BPAC could give away? Is that, again, I don't want to get anyone in trouble with like sneaking and hiding lights and, someone has a pile, there you go, misappropriating lights. So that's my other question.
Yes. The answer is yes, but we don't know yet, like, if we will have the lights left over or not. Usually, like last year, we only gave out somewhere around 800 or, no, actually, 800 during the Light the Night event. And then we gave away somewhere around like 300 or so, I think, or 350 or 400, somewhere close to that during Bike for Earth Day event. So last year we had purchased somewhere around 1,300 lights. And we have like 100 light set left over still, which I forgot, or which I, well, can't say forgot to bring back to like the bike center, because that's where we usually give it back to, the bike project or to UIPD. UIPD, University Police. But this year we are only purchasing 1,000 light set. Because like we usually don't like give away as many. So again, like if we have bike lights left over, then we can definitely collaborate with like Urbana Police or UIPD or Champaign PD to have like a community-based event, or we could just give them the lights to have those events, like pop-up events. So it depends on how many we give out this year.
So do you have a date about when do we want to collaborate with the police?
No, because it wasn't clear to me what we could provide to the police, and it's still not totally clear to me. I mean, we have $2,500, and $1,700 goes to the university, but that's some for lights and some for T-shirts?
No, so
Goes to MTD.
yeah, so the university, MTD, City of Urbana, and City of Champaign contribute equal amounts to purchase bike lights.
Okay.
So $1,717 is the invoice amount for this year's bike light. So overall, it costs us somewhere around, I think it's like $6,900 or something for the 1,000 bike light sets.
Okay.
So that's
right.
divided by 4. So city and MTD is purchasing the MTD purchased the bike lights, and we are basically like reimbursing MTD for
Okay.
with our contributions. So that's the $1,700 is for bike lights only. And then what Carmen was saying, that last year for Bike to Work Day or Bike Month event, the sponsorship towards that event will help us purchase T-shirts, and this year's contributions will help Safe Routes to School project, because they were not able to get funding.
And so that 500 is put into a pool for
Yes.
Champaign,
For so
Champaign
that
or the park, well,
so that 500 will be going into the pool where entire Champaign. So like Urbana, Champaign, like Urbana, Champaign University, MTD, and then Savoy, Mohammed, Rantoul, St. Joseph, like other sponsors like Carl, Champaign Park District, or I think Urbana Park District also does contribute, I think. No, for Bike Month sponsorship. Yeah, so all of those, like, units or organizations, they contribute or they donate to Bike Month funding, which helps support different projects.
Yeah. So
Okay, so
there's the
we
dis-
really have the $300 that we could do
Yes.
something with the police and maybe
Yeah.
ask for an increase in budget next year to do more.
And
Or
to
you
be
don't-
honest, like, sorry, if I can, so if, let's say, there are 50 light sets that I can, that we can give Urbana Police, you can have like a community-based event where you give out 50 bike lights, and you don't have to buy more. So
Okay.
that $300 that we have, it's going to still be there. We can still use it for any other event. That,
Okay.
yeah, so just,
That's why we love biking, it's
it could be like, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's why I didn't talk anything concretely with them, just that we were interested in doing it, because I didn't kind of know what kind of parameters to work under.
So the $500, we haven't, I mean, it's really up to this group if that's how much we want to donate. I pulled up the letter here so you can see what the levels of donation are. So this would put us in the bronze category. But the paragraph right above the table describes what the money goes to. So sponsorship funds are leveraged with contributions from event participants that support various activities related to bicycling, such as youth participation and educational outreach, local bicycle training and training facilities. We thank you for your support, blah, blah, blah. And there's more on the page above, which I had previously. But I think Sarta covered most of that in his description. So I'm asking the group what would we like to donate?
So, and I have a question. My question is this, looks like those bike lights are coming in at about $7 each, if I'm correct, if we're 6,900 of them?
Yeah.
Yep, they're coming in about $7 each. So if we had $300, we would get about 42 of them. And if we could also get 50, I think 100 would be a good starter. I think we'd all feel pretty comfortable trying to get those out into the community. And my question is, are you guys getting a deal by purchasing, like my question is if we have just our little $300 and we try to, it seems like it might be a hassle for us to try to figure out how to get that $300 to purchase the lights.
And
That's
it
my,
might
do you
be-
see the question I'm asking?
It
Yeah.
might be a question of volume also, like, we got $6 or $6.50 per light set because we were buying 1,000 lights. For $300, it could be less, plus you have to factor in shipping. So, yeah, but that's we've already purchased the bike lights for this year. Yeah.
Have enough for what we're doing this year.
And yeah, like we could, again, this would be the first time, I guess, like if, I don't know if this is the first time, but let's say this is the first time that we are doing like a pop-up community bike light event. If we have 50 bike light sets, that's what we start with. Yeah. Yeah. And then based on the demand for next year, then we can figure out, okay, 50 went really quickly, let's buy 100.
I know when I was I was a visiting artist in Bloomington Normal, and they did a bike light pop-up event, and they had people bring their bikes with them, and then they had community resource tables, and people had their bikes, and they went by all the community resource tables before they got the lights installed on their bikes. So that's another, I know it's a separate discussion, but it's just, I just found it so impressive. And I just think it's so exciting to live in communities where people give away bike lights. It's a big deal.
Well, if we were to contribute the $300 to this, though, then it would end up being kind of a community, the event would be a community thing sponsored by MTD and Urbana.
They've already bought the lights, so we would just be buying them from them.
They've purchased, the lights, yeah, for 2025, the lights have been purchased. If next year we want to, if this year we find that the 50 lights or whatever Sarthak can scramble for us are not enough, then maybe next year we talk about having them, because they've already pre-purchased the lights. Where we do have some sway is what Carmen has in front of us right here, which is, right now, we are agreeing to give $500 in T-shirts, and so that's a question, it's not for T-shirts in particular.
Bike promotion and all
Yeah,
the different things that they do.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, with that $500, would we be able to have MTD and T-shirts at an event if we did an event that wasn't in conflict with other events already happening?
What do you mean? You mean the $500 to buy T-shirts, or like just participating in this participating in this bike month?
I'm thinking that these guys have already organized the events and they've got the thing planned and ready, like it makes more sense to cooperate and support them with our budget.
Yeah.
Maybe what we could do with the $300 is purchase, what we can do is maybe meet as a group and figure out what, not go against Open Meetings Act, 3 of us meet, and figure out what we would need. We could, talk to Cynthia Hoyle and see what we would need to do a bike event or a bike playground, pop-up playground. And we could do, for $300, we might be able to get little tiny stop signs, which would be cute.
Or alternately, we could just talk with these people in the police department who are interested in working with this and do something separately with them with the $300.
Yeah, and so that sounds
With one
like,
of their events, because I think the Urbana Police would, they would, since they already do some things on their own that they would like.
yeah, if we could
possibly to
support
do
stuff,
something.
if we could support what they already know how to do and just are stretched thin, so then they wouldn't be stretched so thin. And again, these, let the people who know how to do it, and we can support them. I move that, well, it's not a motion thing, but, that we examine possibilities of supporting other community organizations with a specific bike event.
Okay, but Carmen, if we have this $300, it's a use it or lose it is sort of, I'm just trying to think of ways that we can activate that money and get it out into the community in support of bikes.
I think we're operating in fiscal year '26 now, so you've got some time to
Right.
figure this
Yeah.
out.
Right.
So that
That's
was
why I
my-
said, we can communicate with, and figure that out, because that's next year's money, so we're good.
So that's what I wanted to confirm, like your fiscal year ends June 30th of 2026. So we have some time, so if, let's say, we do have the $300, I think like, for right now, I think we should finish this and then we can come back with some more ideas as to like what we can do with the remainder of the 300.
Yeah, whether it's
And-
Cynthia Hoyle and Safe Routes to School people
Yeah.
or the police, and just see where it can be, So it's sort of, that's we're planning.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, yeah, I think we should sponsor Bike to Work Month also.
We're all supportive of the $500. Okay, great.
Thank you, Carmen, for having the patience to work through this with us.
Well, can I just ask that maybe could we meet with someone from the police and see if they have any ideas?
Nancy,
we
I would
want
be
to-
happy to meet with you and find someone at the police to talk to. No problem.
Okay, well, I know the two people that we would want to talk to, but,
That'd be great then.
okay.
Let's do it.
So could we be a subcommittee or something?
We're a subcommittee.
We're not using subcommittee anymore, we're using working group.
Oh,
Oh, working group. I would be happy to be on a working group with you, Nancy.
okay. I get these details a little confused. You guys are kind of more in the know, so I don't want to do this by myself.
Yeah, no, seriously. I would be more than happy to be on a working group with you over this. This would be, I think it would be really lovely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for reaching out and finding our two contacts. Yeah, and getting this rolling. And then Sarthak, whatever you have available, whatever swag folks have available for bike stuff, we will come back and we'll let you know what the idea is and how they would like to be distributed. And then we will let you know what resources are needed, and whatever's possible, we'll take this year and we can work from there. Yep. Cool. And what would be our deadline? So this is 2026 money that we're looking at here. So if we do the same amount next year, so that's just to keep that in mind. Cool. I think we've talked this to death. Is there any other comments, thoughts?
Yeah, just to confirm, are those money like you cannot reserve for next year? Right, you have to use up the 2,500. Is that correct? Oh, but
I don't think it rolled over, and then we got a larger budget because we didn't spend it last year. It's basically the same. I think it goes back into our general fund.
okay. I see.
Yeah, so that's something to keep in mind.
It doesn't mean if last year we didn't spend $300, we have $600 this year. We still have $300. So that's
And
just.
we won't let that happen again now that we
No.
know that we have a budget.
Yeah, and what's our deadline for the 300? How long does it take if we actually wanted to purchase something, Carmen? Like, what does that look like?
Well, this is FY '26, so you'll have until the end of June of next year to spend that. But I don't know how long it takes to purchase bike lights.
So purchase bike lights is actually very simple, and purchase just click on their website. But sending invoices would be a longer process. So for example, this time, because MTD is making these purchases, so we're preparing the invoices, which maybe took our finance department for a week or two. Then sending the invoices to City of Urbana, City of Champaign, and their finance department needs to process those invoices. So I don't know how long will they take, maybe a week or two. So if
A bit longer than that.
a bit longer than that, okay, we are fast, yeah. So yeah, if that's something we need to keep in mind, then I will say June 2027. Then maybe we have to make the purchase by the end of April. So I don't know, to make them to keep everything in the circle of the fiscal year.
And would it be, I guess the question I would ask, if you could ask MTD, would it be possible if we increase our amount by $300, would we be able to keep the amount of lights purchased with that $300 in Urbana? I guess that's the bigger, does that question make sense, what I'm asking?
You mean for this event?
Well, when you're bulk purchasing, when the MTD is purchasing $6,900 worth of lights, if the city of Urbana is giving $1,700, but if we increase it by $300, would we be able to get $300 worth of lights directly sourced to the
BPAC
city
or-
of, yeah, to BPAC, I guess, would be the easiest. Do you see the question I'm asking?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
see,
that's
but
where it gets tricky.
But for the events, I think we distribute the lights based on the welcome stations. We don't really do by Urbana or Champaign.
So,
I think that would
I-
be messy.
Yeah.
It,
I
it
think
could
that would
be
be
because,
messy, yeah.
again, like, getting
Okay.
it's tricky.
Totally fine. I think all we'll need then is to know,
And, sorry, to interrupt, like, I was going to say, you asked the question when, I think, like, so if we are planning from, let's say today, our next meeting, we have decided on something or we propose something else, we will still have over the winter to go out and do the purchase if we wanted to, so that, let's say, we can target Earth Month or April or early May as the target date for this event or some event where we spend the $300 and we can collaborate with local nonprofits. Like, we've got Champaign County Bikes, the Bike Project, we've got Pace, like all of those people, and then of course like the university, MTD, and we can all come together to do something on, like, at the market, something, or rather.
I have a question for Pace. It's a slightly different question, is do people who are pedestrians want pedestrian walking lights? Like lights to, you know how people like put them on the back of their backpacks? Is that anything Pace would be interested in? I'm getting a funny look, so the answer I'm going to guess is no.
I think that Pace probably, like for something like the marathon or something, I think that we could probably Pace could probably come up with money.
Okay.
I don't know, I mean, not a huge amount, because not that many people ride bikes, but yeah, that is an interesting thought.
Yeah, I mean, like when I run at night, I wear lights. You know, that's all.
Right.
And just for obvious reasons. I mean, and so what I'm thinking is the path forward for our $300 is we would just get from the MTD where you're purchasing your lights. We would work with the city of Urbana. We would purchase the lights through the city of Urbana. We'd be very clear about where those 42 lights, it's only 42 lights, where those, if we can get 42 lights would be going, and we would distribute them. Cool.
Yeah,
That seems
I can
straightforward. I'm
purchase
used to
this.
working at
This
the
is a
university where
small
everything
amount.
is like this, like buying things is like this, like, complex situation. All right. Thank you, Carmen. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Soshi, for sharing that. Wait. Whew. Okay, so for the second time, I feel are there any other questions? All right, I think we got this. Seriously, thank you all for this discussion. I know it was a little harried, but we got there. We have some vacancies on the Bike Pedestrian Advisory Commission, and in particular, we have one with the school district. I think, Carmen, you were gonna look into something?
Yeah, so last time I said, I thought there was someone on the Safe Routes to School group, but they no longer have that representative. They're just working with the superintendent, so I emailed the superintendent about this, and I have not heard back. I did hear from, I talked with Abby at MTD today about someone else who was suggested to help with the Safe Routes to School, so I might reach out to that person too, Jessica Bradford. Go from there. That's all I've got for an update.
All right, moving on, the Bike Share Working Group notes.
Those are in the back of your meeting minutes. They came from Bruce, so just provided them for everyone. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, but.
So the bike share working group met last month, and we've been meeting regularly, at least once a month, to talk about how how we could have a contract with VO. The most recent meeting, we were talking about like how the university has the GPS fence around the quad areas on campus, so that the class 2 e-bikes, they cannot have throttle, they cannot use throttle in the quad area. So if somebody actually gets into the quad area, they will have to either pedal, or they just leave their bicycles at a bike rack or something. And that is a technology that's available to VO, or to us through VO. And then we also have some slow ride zones on campus, no parking zones. So all of this to say that we were talking about, we had some ideas as to where we could have like hubs of bicycle, like VO bikes in the community. And we were talking about having like public spaces like libraries or parks, or like even closer to MTD stops, to have smaller hubs for VO bikes. And again, like, it is a possibility. Now, to get to all of that, we need to have a contract, and that's something that VO is working with. I think, Carmen, they are working with somebody, like, they were working with Marcus before, but since Marcus has left, I think he gave Carmen's information to VO representative.
Probably Kevin Garcia
Oh,
as well.
okay.
Yeah,
So-
I think he added both of us to the email.
Okay, so once VO sends like a draft contract, then the bike share working group will meet again, go over the contract, see if everything looks fine. I, as a representative from the university, like, I can compare how the operation looks on the university side and make sure that the transition over into City of Urbana is seamless. And once we have everything sorted over there, then we can give more updates to the BPAC, and then we'll have basically, like, we'll send it back to Public Works for signatures. I think that's all that we had talked about.
Is VO amenable to parking spaces? Like, are they amenable to having dedicated spaces to have, I mean, I walked by the Illini Union the other day, and every parking spot was filled with a VO, and I was like,
Yeah.
God, I wish, and like, you know, there's empty car parking spaces where we could easily put the VOs.
Yes, they are, no,
I'm
they
not talking
are
about on
available.
campus. I am not in charge of campus.
Yes.
I don't know.
So,
We have, downtown
yes,
Urbana
they're-
has plenty of opportunities
Yes,
and
they are-
spaces that
they're-
we could,
they're
we could
available.
hub bikes. I mean, I
Yes.
can come up with like 10 right now.
Yes.
So there's opportunities here. I just don't know if VO is open to hubbing
Yes.
bikes. I just think, as a person who lived in Chicago when the bike share came out, hubbing bikes is just a really smart thing to do. Because you always know there'll be a bike there, and also it gets people away from, why is this bike in my front yard?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that is something that we talked about, and that's why we were talking about, like, having like smaller hubs closer to public spaces, like, and if we have hubs by MTD stops, we have so many of them, and we, like, again, like, we're so well connected. There is a bus stop within, I would think, like 3 to 5 minutes of every,
We have in total more than
location.
2,000 stops.
yeah,
And
so.
I don't think it even have that many bikes.
Yeah.
And even, I bet VO would be able to tell us. They would have the data to say the best places for hubs would be here, and then we can begin the horse trading.
They're also part of the transit app, and the transit app has the MTD stops information. So anyway, there is that possibility, and yes, from my conversation again, like in my university capacity, like we've had these conversations, and they have been very optimistic and not optimistic. Optimistic is not the right word. They're very amenable. They're very amenable to having off bike rack redistribution hubs where for their bicycles. So yes, that is a possibility. For campus, again, like I am trying to do something, but we do want our students not to leave their bicycles just in the middle of a sidewalk. So we ask them to leave them at bike racks.
I have no problem with,
Oh, no, no,
I have
no.
no
I'm
problem with
just-
the VOs being in the bike racks. It's more that it's,
It does get a little bit challenging because
it's hard-
it takes space away from.
and it's hard to find a
Personal
VO,
bicycles.
honestly. Like, if you're a person like me, you just keep trying them, and when the battery's dead on that one, this one works. Instead, if there was just literally a pile of them, I could be like, oh, cool, one of these is going to work. And if you always know there's going to be one there, it also really changes your experience,
And
you know? Like, I could see them at the parking
to
lots,
clarify,
you know?
by the way, like when we say that they're going to have hubs, it's only going to be a location on the GPS map or location on the ground where there are multiple bikes, not the location where they can be charged. So it's not a physical infrastructure that we are putting in there. It's just a spot. Yeah.
And would you, I mean, I see it almost as paint on the ground to be like, this is a VO parking spot.
That-
And, you know, the same way we have car share parking spots. And
That might be what we would look at, like, not as physical metal signs, but actual just like either like a tape on the ground or chalk paint or something, like not permanent. Again, that's something that we are looking into. This is.
And it would be, even if it's just a pilot project with spray chalk, that's a fantastic idea. I love this. This would be great. I am very much for this.
So again, like for us, the next step, I think, for the bike share working group, the next step is, sorry, like I keep wanting to say subcommittee and then I stop myself. Hopefully we'll have like a draft of the contract soon so that then the working group can meet again and we'll talk more about the operation.
I do have a question. Can people, well, just last week, I was at Maine and Illinois, and there was a bicycle right at the corner where I was trying to hit the button, and I had to lift it up and, move it off the sidewalk. Is there any recourse? I mean, does VO know who left that bike there, and can they get ticketed or something?
We don't know who, and again, like,
You can't tell by it who charged
we
at the
can
time?
ask, so we usually ask VO to just remove the bike. Again, like on campus, we have the policy that you cannot end your bike ride just on a sidewalk or blocking a crosswalk or anything like that. Like, you cannot leave your bicycle at an intersection on campus. Because if you do, you're still being charged. Like, your meter is still running and you will get a penalty. And then there are some penalty options within the contract too. Like, if you're in violation, your first violation, there is a penalty. Your second violation, first violation, I think, is a warning. Second violation is a penalty. Third violation, your account is terminated.
So that could be done in Urbana also.
Yes, that could be done here
Well,
also.
shoot, I hope that that's done, because it is, you know, it's
It-
not fun to lift
Yes.
up one of those bikes. and
They're
move
heavy.
it. They're very heavy, and
They're heavy.
you gotta move them off of
Yeah.
the sidewalk.
And the other thing is VO could offer incentives if you return them to one of their hubs, because the hubs are going to make their lives so much easier, so much more efficient.
Yes, and again, that is also something that they are amenable to.
And again, they have all the data. They would know exactly where would be the best spots for these. Cool. Thank you, Sarthak. Appreciate this.
Yeah, so just let me know if I need to check in with VO at some point, if I don't hear from
I
them.
think that would be good, because I met with Marcus at the end of June, and that's when he had mentioned that that VO was going to send him at that time like a draft soon. But then since he left, I don't know like if VO has contacted anyone at Public Works.
No.
So yeah, like it would be good to follow up with them and ask for an update, or if you want us to meet with VO, you can let us know also, like the
I
bike share.
can just copy you on my
All right, cool, thank you.
email to reach out to them. Okay, you ready for my updates? Okay. Here's my list. So Florida Avenue Shared Use Path, still same update as before. The plans are 90% complete and have cleared the SHPO review. Work is still planned for 2026. Baker's Lane Shared Use Path, we've finished those plans. We've received the final plan set from our designer, and we're currently working on getting easements from the Forest Preserve and from the Park District. And the construction is still slated to begin in early fall and completed in 2026.
And I know we had folks come here, we had some good public input, and we had a lot of really nice discussions with folks who live along the edge, because it's not the city of Urbana along the edge of that property, but we had some good discussions. Has there been any other, how is that going along well? Do you have any idea?
I think there have been some discussions with the public, with the Park District, with their open houses that they've done recently. But as far as John's communication with them after that meeting, I can't speak to that. I'm not sure. Next, we've got EQL streetlights from FY22. That construction is underway to be completed by the middle of this year. We're past the middle of this year, but it is substantially complete. Florida Avenue from James Cherry to Smith streetlights are lagging a little bit, but most of the poles are installed now. The EQL FY25 program that includes sidewalks, ramps, streetlights, and some traffic calming devices on Broadway, Kerr, and Cottage Grove. That design is underway now. The Lincoln Avenue Corridor Study, Council approved the endorsement of the study recommendations on July 28th. So thank you to BPAC for providing your support ahead of that. The Lincoln Avenue, North Lincoln Avenue project from Washer to Killarney. The SS4A grant funding is still under review by the federal DOT. The public outreach phase has begun, started last week, and the concept plan is still underway. Still expected to bid the project out in FY28. Florida Avenue project from Wright to Hillcrest. The intersection design details are getting reviewed by IDOT now, specifically at Race and Vine Street, the Race and Vine Street intersections with Florida. And after we get IDOT's review of these intersections, the city would like to share the preliminary design with BPAC, as it relates to the pedestrian and bicycle flow through those intersections. Also, the RAISE grant agreement is under discussion right now with IDOT and FHWA. So some more discussions are happening this week between John and IDOT. So glimmer of hope there.
Thank you. And thank you for bringing that back to, appreciate that.
cautiously optimistic with that, but yeah, so John plans to return to BPAC with yes, they're amenable. Traffic signal improvements, those are the audio devices, so no update there, just still planning to update for signalized intersections, audio devices in this fiscal year. We'll get that going. The sidewalk improvements for FY '25, so this is a small sidewalk improvement project, about 700 feet initially in the contract in West Urbana. Those are under construction now. The ones closest to campus were completed last week, I believe, and you may see some under construction on Main Street in Kohler right now. We added an additional 100 feet of sidewalk to the contract because we had good bid prices. Those are outside of West Urbana in a couple locations, kind of up by Carl on North Lincoln. Then IDOT, okay, so this one isn't a project, but this is an IDOT grant. We're going after, it's actual federal money. You're all familiar with Safe Routes to School. I was planning to meet with Abby at MTD and the superintendent of the school district today, but superintendent was too busy, so we're gonna try again for later in the week or maybe next week and have RPC join us as well. I'm interested in working with everyone to put out a non-infrastructure grant application for a community travel plan around the schools, possibly including a safe walking route audit that would include recommended infrastructure improvements. And then once we have that, maybe in the next grant cycle, we can pursue infrastructure grant funds with that. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
That sounds like a great idea.
I second what Nancy said. Thank you so much for thinking ahead this way. And also, we can see how much it will cost, because there might be other ways to fund it. At least once you have a plan, you can at least begin to look at how much it would cost and what it would look like. I really appreciate you thinking this way. This is great.
And that's a good point, too, that we may want to just fund it with other funds instead of Safe Routes to School because it is a federal funding source, so you have to go through the full environmental review process, which can take a long time and be somewhat tedious, even for things like roadway striping, so.
Honestly, parents are so freaked out over the current way kids are trying to get, if we just saw the amount it would cost to put stop signs and bike lanes and crosswalks, just the amount is very important, that's all. And we can go from there.
Well, that's the end of my update.
By the way, the lights on Michigan Avenue between Vine and Anderson, they were installed through the EQL FY22. They were installed and they're very good. Like, I really appreciate it because for several, like, I've been living in on that stretch for 3 years now, and it was always dark after sundown. Now it's well lit, so thank you.
I have comments about the lights.
Maybe a bit too bright.
Okay, there we go. What's interesting to me, again, I love dorking out over infrastructure, or street furniture, call it what you will. I actually was very much against the Cobra lights. The Cobra lights are those tall ones. They're the tall black ones, and they're wonderful. They look great. They just send light down. They're gentle. I know, John was like, really, you don't want Cobra lights? I was like, no, they're gonna be terrible. I'm completely wrong. The Cobra lights are beautiful. The other lights, unfortunately, for some reason on these lights, they're facing out and instead of down. And so it's actually blinding. They did do a nice job. The lights are a good color, I think. They're a nice, like, warm color. But the lights, for some reason, are, like, when you walk, they're just, like, right in your eye. And I don't know why that's happening. So those are my comments on that. I don't know if they can be re-angled or if diverters can be put on them to send the light down and not into people's front homes and right into a pedestrian's eyes. those are my comments on that. But I agree, it's really kind of weird, because I lived right over there as well for a couple of years, and I was like, this is so strange. This is very strange. I have a question about Broadway. Is Broadway between, the easiest way to describe it is between the mall and the school? I think it's, I haven't checked recently, I believe it's being repaved, but I do know that like all the bike markings and crosswalks had been ground out, which surprised me.
I believe that was recently done in the last couple weeks for the high-pressure surface treatment project. I'm not sure when the markings were going to be added back.
Yeah. And the only question I have is, I believe I did not get a chance to check the bike plan, but I just wonder if the bike plan doesn't show there being bike lanes on that street instead of share lanes. And I use that street instead of trying to bike down, I'm going to skip street, Race, as I think the street. I try to use Broadway so I don't have to try to compete with traffic on that street, so. All right, does anybody have any announcements before we move on to future topics?
I have a few. All right. A few. Well, as everybody know, students are back. They're going to be within the university district. There are going to be a lot more traffic. The traffic lights that were turned into stop signs over the summer are back as functioning stoplight now. Yeah, if you're on campus, if you're in a car, please drive slow. If you're a pedestrian or a bicyclist, make sure you make eye contact with the driver if you're crossing the street. So that's the safety advice. But VO has a new local point of contact. They just started a couple of weeks ago. So he's the operations manager. So if there are questions about or if we have to do some geofencing or have questions about redistribution or requests about redistribution, we can ask the point of contact at VO. Just as an FYI.
Yeah, and
Then-
I'll add that if we'd agree to have that as a future topic. I think it's always good to have VO come in and share with us their numbers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we can add that, we can talk about that
Yeah.
next.
Then I'm leaving the two events as announcements for the very end. But Kuwats, they're doing a safety survey, which is available to anybody until the end of this month. So, and it's a safety survey for the entire Champaign County, where you can drop in points about on the streets or sidewalk or areas that could be high risk or high energy, high injury, not energy, high injury network areas. If you've had near misses or if there were crashes that you're aware of, you can report those to that survey. I don't have the link. I don't remember the link, but it's on Kuwats. If we search for Kuwat, CUUATS, Kuwats, SS4A-urban, that's the urban website where you can take the survey And they also are working on the rural survey areas as well.
And I saw that you shared it with the University of Illinois community. I really appreciated seeing that in there. And the reason that this is happening is because currently we are facing the highest in 20 years fatality rates on our roads. So this is, yeah, we're crossing red lines at this point. It's very important that we get this right. And I'm just going to repeat that the university, if you haven't heard my mantra, but the University of Illinois has been working very hard to do safe system infrastructure on the University of Illinois campus. And because of that, we have had death rates on the campus drop to 0, which is why it's very important that the Lincoln Avenue corridor does get implemented and that we get funding for it, because that will be extending that safety net and that safety zone for people who are biking and walking and driving, and it allows, you know, for mistakes, like you saw today, that driver making a mistake, but it's a forgiving system, and it's very important that we do this. And I was in city council chambers when the Lincoln Avenue corridor study came down for a final vote. It was disappointing to me to see 2 of the council members who are on the corridor did not support it because they were worried about the traffic diverters. And I understand the concerns. I know that it's scary to see changes like that, but it's very important that we try to keep all of our residents safe. And I understand that there are going to be minor inconveniences with these changes, but I think we can all adapt and make it work, and we can all work together. So that's my speech, and that is why RPC is sending out that survey, because we are beginning to see higher numbers than we have ever seen in our community of fatalities on our
And-
roads.
Yeah, and to put that into numbers, we had the meeting at Kuwat's in the first week of August, and till that day, we had like 17 fatalities in Champaign County, which Rita said like is the number that she has not seen in 25 years of her work here. So until like
And since then,
at the end of July, basically.
yes, and since then it has gone up.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So if you know, you can search for that survey link with
I'll send it to the group. I had
Okay.
an email drafted. I was just trying to find the MTD fan one to add that to the email as well.
So please take the survey if you want to report any intersection, any street, sidewalk, or any area within Champaign County that you feel is an unsafe area. So yeah, just FYI, like that input is going to be used in creating a prioritized list of safety improvement projects in the Champaign County area. So, okay, next we've got the Bike to Work Day event that we talked about earlier. It's going to be held at 6. I think it's going to be still 16 Champaign County locations. 8 of them are going to be on campus. And the event is going to be on Wednesday, September 10th from 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. The registration is not open yet, but it will be open any day, like today. I don't think it's going to happen today, but maybe tomorrow or day after. Then, like the night event, which is our annual bike light giveaway event on campus, that is happening on Tuesday, September 16th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. So if you have a bicycle, bring your bicycle over to campus. We are doing hosting this event at 4 locations this year. So one, Alma Mater, Helene Gateway, Ikenberry Commons are the old locations, and we are trying a new location at the intersection of Green and Lincoln. Because again, like with the MCOR improvements, the Green Street corridor has been getting a lot more use. So we want to try and capture more bicyclists at that intersection.
And it's where the new Dutch Bros coffee shop's going to be?
Yes. And MTD's vehicle will be parking there just to demonstrate to people how to use the bike racks.
Yeah.
But I do wonder, the Dutch Bros, how would that change the traffic flow around the intersection? Yeah.
And part of the Dutch Bros conversation, what was presented was, in the past, that used to be a gas station, and it was also a car wash. So it used to have much higher unsafe infrastructure for people who were biking and walking. There, one of our council members was really advocated for the things that we have also advocated for, which is just really making sure that that the cyclists are aware that cars are going to be leaving that spot, because I honestly think that's going to be the hardest part, is cyclists aren't going to be aware that cars are trying to leave, and that's also that when cars are trying to leave that space, they are going at they're not moving fast. It's if you look at the plans, it's essentially like a slow-moving parking lot. They are aware that they need to check and look both ways before they leave. So yes, I agree with you. I was a little upset, but we are, Kevin presented I believe it was Kevin who presented good information on how they do want to do bike lanes on Lincoln Avenue through that section, and they are asking Dutch Brothers to make sure that the infrastructure that they're putting in is going to be safe for when eventually we have the funds for bike lanes through there. So it kind of, once I realized it used to be a gas station and a car wash, and also there are covenants on that space, and so essentially they cannot do certain things on it. So this is the first sort of allowable thing that they've been able to figure out that they can put on that space. And they did increase, they're going to have a walk-up space so we can walk up and bike and get things from there as well. So that made me feel a lot better about it.
Yeah, that's satisfying. Yeah, now I know it used to be a car wash and gas station. Okay, Dutch Bros is better than that.
And I don't believe any entrance or exit is going to be off of Lincoln Avenue. I think it'll all be off of Green. I think. It's been a while
Yeah, I
since
think you're
looked
right.
at the
I think you're right,
plans.
Carmen. I'm misremembering. Yeah, in my head, I have a picture of the map of what it looks like. The funniest part is there is a sidewalk, but the sidewalk goes directly to the dumpster. So it's basically for the employee to, as a bike pedestrian person, I was like, look, there's a sidewalk. And the person I was talking to said, it goes to the dumpster, Annie. I was like, okay, yeah, all right, super. But yeah, you're right. I believe it's on and off Green. So it's going to be a little tricky. We're going to have to just keep an eye on it and see how it goes. But yeah, they basically, I think, eliminated the cutaways because of bikes. And so as we all know, as bike pedestrian people, is fewer cutaways make it safer for all road users. I don't care if you're in a car or if you're walking, it makes it safer for everyone.
Okay, if you're finished, I do have a few of quick announcements. So MTD is officially out of Marketplace. It's already happened on August 10th. So if you are going to Marketplace, the closest stop will be Neil and Center. You will need to go across the parking lot, then go from the Macy's. Yeah, so that's the closest you can get.
And there was a person killed on a scooter nearby there, is my
Oh, yeah.
understanding?
Yeah, we heard the news. It's so sad. Other than that, but because of that move, we are able to allocate resources to other parts of yellow and red. So right now we have service on both directions of red to CEO Public Health District. It used to be only per request on one direction, but now it goes to their every single trip on both directions. And also on red Saturday, now the red goes to Urbana Meyer. It didn't go to Urbana Meyer it used to end just 1 block away from Urbana Meyer, and now we extend that loop to Urbana Meyer. So yeah, that's my quick announcements.
This is not an announcement, but a follow-up to what you were asking earlier about the bike plan on, with Broadway Avenue. So the bike plan is showing in the proposed 6 to 10-year network path as a bike route plus sharrows.
So it's a verbal bike route plus share roads? So it means it's a bike route, and so it's just the current infrastructure, again, I believe then, it would be share roads. Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, you do. Yep, there were share roads. And unfortunately, the data shows that share roads are as safe as not having share roads. But I'm still an advocate for share roads over, a share row is an arrow on the ground that says a bike can be here, is why I like them. But I don't know. Sarthak, were you going to say something? No. Yeah. Yeah, obviously, I would prefer bike lanes. It is a wide street. I don't know if it's possible to get bike lanes on there, especially since we're so close to a school. But that's what I have to say. Announcements. There will be a Urbana and Champaign Witches ride this year. Previously, it was just an Urbana Witches ride. What's a Witches ride? Well, you dress up like a witch and you ride a bike. And you can also dress up like anything you want and ride a bike. You can just dress up as yourself and ride a bike. So there'll be, but if you're a witch, you should really ride your bike and dress up as a witch and try getting your witch's hat on top of your helmet is always a fun trick. So we'll be doing that this year. We, in the past, had an Urbana one. We have had Champaign residents reach out to us. The Coven in Champaign has reached out to the Coven in Urbana and asked if we could make it a Champaign-Urbana Witches Ride, and that will be happening this year. I do not have an exact date for it, but just keep your ear to the ground, look up at the moon. It's all going to come together for us. So I just wanted to announce that. I believe there's going to be a community bike ride that Teresa or Cynthia's putting together. It is the September 20th. It's on my phone. So folks are invited to that. And, CU Community Bike Ride. We'll be meeting in Champaign, 1807 South Neal Street, and it'll be from about 2 to 4 p.m. And just like with the Witches Ride, everyone is welcome. These are not fast rides. These are just ways for people to understand that this is how you can ride a bike and you can be with others and how much fun it is to do group rides. So there's the CU Community Bike Ride on Sunday, September 21st from 2 to 4 p.m. And there is more information on Facebook if you would like to see more. Let's see.
How could I get the information for the Witches Ride?
Well, the Coven hasn't yet posted the ride on Facebook, but I do know the head witch. And the head witch will be making that posting coming soon once they decide.
So that will be on Facebook. Looking for a witch.
It will be on Facebook. It's just a matter of, is it the week before or after? I mean, because Halloween is on Friday. So is it on the Saturday or Sunday after Halloween, or the Saturday and Sunday before Halloween? Is always gets into big discussions with lots of people. So basically, you just got to choose a date and say, yes, some people can make it, other people can't. But yeah, we will get back to you. It's August, so the witches are planning far in advance this year. So it's sort of exciting. But yeah, it's a fun little event, and everyone's welcome. It's just free. So yeah, thank you for asking, Joshi. I would love to see you in a witch's costume. I'm trying to think I don't think I have any other announcements other than that. All right, so future topics. We are going to have the King Master Plan presentation, which is going to be great. I see something here, ADA transition plan update. I'm curious, do you
So
care
I
to?
won't forget.
Yeah,
I'm going to start meeting monthly now with our ADA coordinator, who's in our executive department. We have a meeting this week, so I wasn't yet prepared to present anything this month, but maybe next month or the following. Talked briefly about our ADA transition plan. We found it. We have it. It was last updated in 2012, so we're making sure we're getting that posted to the Office of Human Rights and Equity page because they talk about ADA compliance on there, so we'll have that back online hopefully very soon. And Carla Boyd, our ADA coordinator, and I will start meeting monthly, like I said, and start trying to find ways that maybe the Human Rights Commission and this commission can start working together on ADA compliance issues and see if there's funding available in her area or any funding available in Public Works so we could possibly pull it together for future projects. And just the first step here is we're revisiting the transition plan. What's in there? What have we done so far? What do we still need to do? And it's basically, getting all the information that RPC collects for us and, prioritizing certain areas, kind of aligning that information with other information that we may have, like from census data, to see where are there walkers or people in wheelchairs or bikers or whatever, that we can find the high priority areas and make those into projects, hopefully. I'll keep you all posted.
and Nancy's on PACE. So would PACE do you have any input on that?
Yeah, I think, yeah, we would definitely be interested in this.
I can just email it to you all right now, but it should be online very soon. If our Office of Human Rights and Equity doesn't add it soon, I'll just post it onto the Public Works page.
I'm just doing the math on how old 2012 minus 13 years. Yeah, lots changed. All right.
I do have another
Yeah.
future topic. The North Lincoln Avenue project I mentioned in my updates, that's from Washer to Killarney, where it's a road diet and possibly on-street bike lanes or a shared use path. Since they're getting the concept plans underway now and going through public engagement, they hope to come, I'm referring to the other Assistant City Engineer, Justin, hopes to come to BPAC next month and present to you all with what they have so far.
That'd be fantastic.
By the way, Carmen, like next month, the BPAC is meeting on the same day as like the night event. So I won't be able to join. And I think, yeah.
Well, if we have a quorum, excuse me, then we will meet next month and they will present. Otherwise, in October.
October will be killing it here. Because the other thing, I would love to have VO present, and maybe we just make VO present in October, because then they'll have a lot more fresh data for us. Today I was on campus and it was so fun. I mean, I just saw like 15, like the VOs were all just occupied and moving. And I also love seeing families get on them and they like follow each other. And like, there's the student in front trying to take their parents to some location, and it's very fun. This is a long-term thing, but for those of you, I'm looking at, not Nancy, but I'm looking at Sue here. Guess how old the bike plan is going to be in 2026? 10 years old. So I think it's, I'm not sure quite how revisiting the bike plan works and trying to check where we're at and just try to see, if there needs to be any adjustments to it, if we need to update any strategies or just revisit it in any way. I do know I was on the commission when we passed it. I had just joined the commission. So I do know passing a large comprehensive plan is a big deal, so I'm not sure if that's quite the direction we want to go. And the horse trading at the last minute always is is funny, but you just got to pass the plan and move forward and see what happens next. So that's just something I want to bring up, is the bike plan is just heading towards that 10-year mark. So I don't know quite what that means, but I know we're supposed to revisit it and update it every year, but I'm going to kind of guess that that probably hasn't happened. So like that 2012 ADA plan. But it's, it's important. We all know that the bike plan's important for getting grants and for getting funding and other
I
items.
don't think every year was the plan for updating it, like it was like 5 and 10 year.
Then we're right on top. Then we just need to budget for the 2026 fiscal, our $300 can get us maybe a. All right. Are there any additional future topics that we wish to get on here? And again, next month, it looks like people will be working at Light the Night, so I'm not sure. Are there topics, anyone? All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for coming. I think this was a great meeting, and I appreciate everyone coming, and this meeting is adjourned.